more than 2 years. Google just announced they just killed a whole range of Nest thermostats. After a certain age, if you have a Nest thermostat, it ain't getting no more updates. And you will eventually get that device hacked, I guarantee it. Which is why I despise all of this garbage, and I have none. Again, more on that in a minute. You've got to install updates. Again, Microsoft just rolled out patches for Windows yesterday. When your iPhone tells you to install the updates, install the updates. It is ultra critical that you know, when they put this stuff out, it's not because they're just being nice. They're either fixing things that may impact your ability to use the device, or they're fixing problems that allow you to get hacked. Does this make sense to people what I'm saying? This also costs nothing. Whether it's you going in and manually hitting the update button, or you configuring the devices to update themselves automatically, you need to install the patches, right? Again, so far we're 3 things in, and you're spending no money or very nominal money, and you're itching your way up to the Jesse Owens level. Endpoint protection, aka antivirus, MDR, XDR, whatever. Again, one of the 5, right? So this is the Gartner Magic Quadrant. Gartner's a bunch of industry nerds telling you what to write. These are all enterprise-grade antivirus tools. The point is, even the free software, the free Windows Defender that comes with Windows, is actually pretty good. If you have a Windows device, you don't need to buy any extra antivirus. In fact, I would encourage you. McAfee, all that stuff, I wouldn't fool with anything, right? I mean, there are true enterprise-grade things, mostly not available to consumers that are better. The Windows Defender, make sure it's turned on, make sure it's running, use an antivirus on any device that will support it. Again, for the most part, if you're in the Windows environment, it's free. Make sure it's getting updated. Encryption. So I talked about this before. Encryption is a way for you to protect your data, right? Scrambles the data, you gotta have the key to unlock it. Use encryption wherever you can. Microsoft, this is part of the Protect, one of the things that Microsoft and the insurance people say, right? You can use BitLocker. Windows 10 and Windows 11, you have BitLocker built in. You can encrypt the data on your Windows computer, cost you nothing. Your phone has the capability to encrypt. Most phones do this automatically now, the newer models, but wherever possible, use encryption. Again, for the most part, this costs you nothing other than the time to turn it on. All right, kind of wind down here, backup. Also on both lists, right? Protect your data. So you need to back up your data because A, you could get lost as a result of a cyber attack, and or B, things just break. I'm sure some of you have had the experience where the computer just quit, right? And you lost stuff, right? It's never been easier to copy your data. I mean, true enterprise-grade backup is a different thing. But if you have a Microsoft 365 account, through OneDrive, you can at least copy your stuff out of their cloud, so there's at least 2 copies of it. It will not protect you from ransomware, because if you get ransomware and your data gets encrypted, it will just copy the encrypted files out to OneDrive, right? But there's never been more options to back up your data. There's all kinds of cloud solutions. You can get external disks. It's cheap, it's easy, it's never been easier to back up your data. Just do it. The backup rule of 3-2-1 is the idea that you should have 3 copies of your data on 2 different formats, and then 1 in the cloud or off-site, right? Again, you may not go to that extreme, but make sure you're backing up your data. Like I said, it's never been cheaper, easier. And then test your backups. If you don't ever test your backups, when the day comes that you need them, they may not work. Okay? Then finally here, back to my old buddy, the Internet of Things. As if I haven't dumped on it enough yet, I am this guy. And I encourage all of you to be this guy. Tech enthusiasts, my whole house is smart. Tech workers, I only have a printer and I keep a gun next to it to shoot it. It makes noise I don't recognize. This stuff is all garbage. Every bit of it is garbage. They don't care about you. They don't care about your privacy. They don't care about your security. All they care about is market share and profit. That's all they care about. I'm not saying there might not come a time where they fix these problems and that I might use some of this stuff. But I can tell you, I got none of it, and I'm not going to have any of it anytime in the near future. Not only because I don't want the Orwellian spyware surveillance components, but I don't want these things that are easy to hack ultimately bringing down the whole business. Does this make sense to everybody? I wish I would have come up with that myself. Alas, I'm not that smart. There are all kinds of free resources out there. I know I've dumped a lot on you. I know this is hard to understand. I know this is all like a confused awkwardly. You often have this slide deck that got a bunch of stuff linked to it. There are also all kinds of other resources out there that you can access for free to help you learn more about this. Now I get probably none of you want to end up like this. I mean, really, you wouldn't. Right? I get so. That said, again, there's all kinds of resources that can help you understand more about this, understand what's happening out there. Because again, key part of this idea of defense in depth is awareness, skepticism, right? Move slow, and then deploy these tools and practices that will help try to keep as much of this stuff away from you as possible. And in the event you do have some sort of incident, recover quickly from it. All right, last couple is probably no one in this room really wants to know about all this. I get it, that's probably overkill for most people in most situations. We can talk about that if you want in a minute. Computers are securing society, and that's where we're at, right? Everything is interconnected, you do everything. Director and former Army General Sony. Here is, Dave told me about password manager. He said something about pass1 or whatever. I don't remember. I don't know what's right for me. One password might not be right for you. Again, that is my recommendation to you. However, there are other good password managers out there. Okay? No, take a picture whatever you want. And again, you can have the whole slide deck. Like to eat too. They got kids that need shoes. They're not building this crap for you out of the goodness of their heart. You are their product, not their customer. They're making their money off your data. Now, I'm not saying that that is necessarily bad, but that's the trade-off you're making, okay? I don't want to make that trade-off anywhere I can avoid it, and I have a, I didn't say this, I'm not a fan of people. Yeah. So, for my personal email, I use a product based out of Switzerland called Proton, right? They're known for privacy, that's their whole thing. They have a free model. I pay extra to get access to extra stuff. There are other perfectly fine companies out there, but if you look into Switzerland's privacy laws, they're known for that sort of thing, which is how I landed on Proton. Web browser. Most people don't really understand the clear distinction between a web browser and a search engine. Most people use Chrome, Google search, or web browser, and they use the Google search engine. So Google Chrome is a web browser. It is a way for you to access web pages. Okay, if you have an Apple phone, it comes with the built-in Safari web browser. On my Apple phone, I use Safari. On my Windows PCs, I either use Brave or Firefox. I don't use anything from Google ever if I can help it. Okay?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susie. Happy birthday to you and many more.
We got 29 over here. 29.